Now, from WYDC TV, this is Big Fox News at 10.
A new study conducted by the U.S. Department of Agriculture shows that white-tailed deer are able to carry COVID-19. The white-tailed deer is the most popular big game during hunting season. Big Fox's Matt Kleindens spoke to a conservation expert to find out if hunters should be worried.
Good evening, Lauren. According to the study, 40% of deer tested across New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Illinois had COVID antibodies in their system. According to one conservation expert I spoke with, transmission risks remain low, but hunters should take some precautions. With hunting season approaching, the U.S. Department of Agriculture released its study on COVID cases in white-tailed deer. After testing deer in states like Pennsylvania and New York, the department concluded that deer can be carriers of the virus.
They do show the antibodies. They haven't shown that they've had it. It hasn't really affected them.
Rob Minnick with the PA Department of Environmental Conservation says they are examining the information from the study. He says the findings showed the risk of transmission from deer to humans remain low. However, hunters should be smart when harvesting.
If you use your personal protection equipment when you're dressing a deer that you harvest, gloves, make sure you don't touch any of the fluids or whatever when you it, and then as long as it's properly prepared, they haven't at this point found that there's any problems, with human consumption at this point in time.
Minnick also says hunters should use proper disposal methods to avoid getting in contact with other deer-borne related viruses.
It can be, double, triple bagged, and then put out for trash collection. Composting is another method that, could be done. It can be, incinerated, but any way of properly disposing of it is fine.
Archery season for deer kicks off in New York and Pennsylvania on Friday and Saturday, while rifle season kicks off in mid-November. Matt Kleindens, Big Fox, WYDC in Corning.
The CEO of the Food Bank of the Southern Tier was named a Woman of Distinction by the New York State Senate. Natasha Thompson was given the award by Senator Tom O'Mara in recognition of her work in the community over the past year. Thompson says the award reflects the hard work done by the entire food bank to feed residents during the pandemic.
My name might be on the list, but I really see it as, the food bank's recognition and to a large extent, the network's recognition.
Last year, during the height of the pandemic, the Food Bank of the Southern Tier distributed a record-breaking 17.6 million pounds of food. A stroke of good luck may have avoided catastrophe at a daycare in South Park, Pennsylvania. A driver plowed into the facility's playground during a police chase on Tuesday. Fortunately, the kids had left for lunch just minutes earlier and no one was injured. As Jessica Guay reports, the incident was caught on camera.
This video shows the terrifying moments right after a car plowed into a playground at KinderCare in South Park. On the right of your screen, you can see a police officer trying to get the driver to get out of the car. Instead, the driver put it in reverse.
When I saw that video, I just got sick. I just was sick, and I just could not believe. I was in disbelief, and I just feel it was a miracle that no one was harmed, honestly.
Jessica Hoffman's 1-year-old son Eli was at the daycare Monday when this happened. She says KinderCare quickly alerted parents.
My stomach dropped. I was shaking. I instantly think, it could have ended in a catastrophe. And I just wanted to go hurry up and pick up my son and just hold him.
According to police, 22-year-old Jacob Bowser was the man behind the wheel of the car. He's now facing nearly 20 charges. Investigators say this all started when a South Park police officer responded to a call not far from KinderCare on Ridge Road about a man who was threatening his girlfriend after overdosing on Xanax. When the officer got to the home, Bowser took off, leading him on a chase that ended at the daycare.
My son and the rest of the children were outside on that playground, and they went in for lunch just 5 minutes prior. So that really disturbed me.
A KinderCare spokesperson says they're thankful no one was hurt. Meanwhile, Hoffman praises police and KinderCare employees for doing everything they could to keep the children safe and reassure them after this scary situation.
I feel overall that the whole situation was definitely handled, wonderful. Everyone came out of it unharmed, and I hear, I get to hug my baby, and that's all that matters.
Tragedy striking a California family after 3 of their loved ones were found dead while vacationing in Mexico. Now they're asking for help in bringing them home. Family members say they were all found dead inside their Airbnb bedroom. Levi Harvey has the story.
A family vacation to Mexico took a horrible turn when a couple and their young child were found dead. I talked to one member of the family, Trini Jacobo, who says her nephew Jose Nunez, his wife Maria, and the couple's 3-year-old son Jaden were staying at an Airbnb.
I got another call saying that it wasn't just him, it was also his wife and his son.
Jacobo says there are too many questions that need to be answered, leaving her and her family with no clue to how her loved ones turned up dead.
They're still in Mexico. They're going to be performing an autopsy and definitely getting down to the root of what really caused their deaths. So we're not sure about any specifics at this time.
Jacobo says family and friends are in shock. She tells me that the Nunez family are some of the nicest people you would ever know.
Just a really good family. Both of them are very family oriented. Jose is probably, honestly, not just because he's my nephew, but he's one of the best dads I know.
She says grieving her beloved nephew, Jose, won't be easy, but her memories will help see her through.
In love with his family. He's always hugging them, always holding them. He was the one that carried the baby Bumpy around his chest with his son in it. He was a big Dallas Cowboy fan, so I know the Cowboys are going to win tonight.
Jacobo says right now their main focus is to get her loved ones back home.
We're not worried about anything else right now. We want our loved ones back in the States. We want to know what happened to them, of course, but that's not our priority. Right now, we're focused on getting Jose, Maria, and Jaden home.
She says there's a GoFundMe posted called Help Us Get Our Family Home, where people can donate towards the cost of transportation.
And we're still hoping that we're going to be able to get all the money that we need to bring them home.
Today in D.C., a showdown. Lawmakers continue to battle it out over the best way to prevent a government shutdown, with funding set to expire at the end of the day tomorrow. Britt Conway has a look at what's in the works and how a shutdown could affect the average American.
12:01 a.m. Friday. The federal government is set to run out of funding, risking a shutdown. Senate leaders are trying to expedite the consideration of a bill to keep that from happening. A source who attended a Democratic caucus meeting says a vote could happen as soon as today. The bill would fund the government through December 3rd and include emergency disaster relief funding along with billions for Afghan refugee resettlement, according to a copy of the bill obtained by CNN.
We're doing everything we can to avoid a shutdown, and we should put something on the floor. We hope our Republican friends will join with us in that.
So far, Democrats and Republicans have been split on the best way to proceed. Monday, Senate Republicans blocked a Democratic effort to fund the government and suspend the debt limit, which could mean the country wouldn't be able to pay its bills come mid-October.
We will not provide Republican votes for raising the debt limit.
So Democrats are pivoting. This latest bill does not include anything about the debt limit. But if lawmakers can't pass this bill or something else to prevent shutdown, there are a number of ways the average American could feel it. All federal agencies would be impacted. Federal business loan and home loan applications could be delayed. Soldiers and civilians who support defense work wouldn't get paid. Neither would more than 50,000 TSA workers. Visitor services at national parks would stop, and all Smithsonian museums would close. The countdown is on. I'm Britt Conway reporting.
Last year, 93,000 people in the U.S. died from accidental drug overdoses. The Drug Enforcement Administration issued a public safety alert this week, the first in 6 years, because of the increase in counterfeit pills. Stephanie Bennett joins us now from a town in Arizona that saw more overdose deaths last year than COVID deaths.
So it was just a normal night. I went upstairs and knocked on her door, and there was no response, and I just knew. I knew something was terribly wrong.
It was a mother's worst nightmare.
She was just in bed like any other day, on her belly with her laptop open, Of course, I grabbed her and checked for a pulse.
Misty Terragino's 17-year-old daughter, Kaylee, had died from an accidental fentanyl overdose. It's still under investigation, but they know the pill was bought over Snapchat and delivered straight to their door.
She just wasn't that kind of child. She did not go to parties. She was an honor roll student. She was just like any other child.
The Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb says his team is struggling to keep up with the recent influx of illegal M30 fentanyl pills coming through the U.S.-Mexico border.
Honestly, we're seeing a disaster. 85% of the people that are in my jail right now are there because of alcohol or drugs. So yeah, it's a big impact in our communities.
Every year, seizures are escalating in his county, going from 0 pills in 2018 to 200,000 pills in 2020 to now over 1.1 million so far this year.
And we expect those numbers to go even higher before the end of the year. That is staggering and should be alarming to the American people because we are likely not catching even 10% of what is coming into this country.
Looking across the entire southwest border, fentanyl seizures have more than doubled just this year and are ending up across America.
It only takes one time. It only takes one pill. It's the perfect recipe for a disaster, and that's exactly what happens.
According to the DEA, about 6 million pills were seized in Arizona last year alone, and so far this year, we've already surpassed that number. In Florence, Arizona, Stephanie Bennett, Fox News.
Still ahead tonight, parents battling over masks at some Michigan schools now joining forces to give something desperately needed at this time.
These are really important issues, and we're both passionate, I would say, about why we're doing what we're doing.
More on how the two opposing Facebook groups came together for one mission: to get people to donate blood during the pandemic.
Here's your local stock market update from Big Fox. Now, your Twin Tiers forecast from Big Fox.
Your Big Fox forecast is brought to you by William Mattar. Good evening, everyone. We did see some periods of sunshine, but clouds had been stacking up throughout the day. We are expecting increasing cloud cover for tonight, and then tomorrow, with these northwest winds coming in, it is just going to bring those temperatures down for your Thursday. So that pocket of cool air will remain for your Thursday and last through your Friday, and then eventually this will start to scoot off to the east and allow for a little bit warmer conditions to return for the weekend. So here's a look at your forecast for tomorrow. Temperatures around 52 degrees at 9 o'clock if you're going to be going out for a walk. By lunchtime, around 58 degrees. We're going to warm up close to around 60 degrees in the afternoon and then drop back down to around 58 by 5 o'clock with partly sunny skies. I expect a little bit warmer conditions for the end of the week as high pressure starts to build in. Initially, we're going to stay cool with highs once again in the 60s for your Friday. But then this high will start to shift to the east, and we are expecting a little bit warmer conditions for your Saturday. This comes ahead of another storm system that will bring the possibility of rain back by early next week. So for tomorrow, there is a slight chance for maybe a stray shower off to our east, but slim chances of rain for your Friday into Saturday, but it will start to increase again on Sunday due to another cold front coming in. And so we do have the possibility of rain by the end of the weekend and into early next week. Here's a look at your forecast, though. We are expecting partly cloudy skies tonight, increasing cloud cover during the overnight hours. Temperatures diving down to around 47 degrees. So it's going to be a cool start to the day tomorrow. Light winds coming in from the west-northwest at around 5 miles per hour, which will ensure that our highs will stay in the 60s in the afternoon. Expect partial sunshine and light winds coming in from the north for your Thursday. As we head into the end of the week, we are expecting dry conditions for both Friday into Saturday, but then we are going to put rain chances in for early next week due to a cold front that will be draped across much of the Twin Tiers. Highs, though, out ahead of that front will climb into the 70s and then drop back down into the 60s by Tuesday. Notice overnight lows will be in the 40s for the upcoming days, but then it starts to climb into the 50s as a little bit more humid air returns. Along with that, a lot of cloud cover. So we're going to see those overnight lows in the 50s and then drop back down into the low 50s by the middle of next week. It will be pretty chilly. 7 days from now, our highs on Wednesday will only be around 64 degrees.
Parents on both sides of a contentious debate over masks in some public schools in Michigan found something they could agree on: the critical need to donate blood during the pandemic. Trevor Sochaki explains.
Parents against MPS mask mandates. Mask Up MPS. Two opposing Facebook groups. But today, one mission: get people donating blood.
I've heard that blood shortage is happening, and this seemed like a good way to combine forces with some pretty opposing views otherwise. So to find some common ground was really important to me.
Linnea Myers is part of the pro-mask movement in Midland. It was her first time donating.
These are really important issues, and we're both passionate, I would say, about why we're doing what we're doing.
Both groups agree they just want what's best for their kids.
There's people in there now that I probably never would have talked to or mingled with. I shake their hands. We're good people. I mean, we're all good people.
Rob Johnston has 3 kids in Midland Public Schools. He's against masks.
It's a good opportunity for us to show our children and show the community that we can, even though we have differences, we can still come together and do good.
The need for blood drives like this one has only skyrocketed. The COVID pandemic has seen less people donate blood, but more people need it. Lindsay Cheeseborough with Versity says donations have dropped recently.
On top of summer and less people donating because they've been wanting to get back to doing things at normal, the need for blood is in a critical state, meaning most blood types are less than a day supply.
And when it comes to the emergency room, blood doesn't care whether you like masks or not.
It's a little early for Halloween, but some officials in Virginia put on costumes Tuesday. They did it to give patients at a local children's hospital a super surprise. Victoria Sanchez has the story.
Firefighter Lauren Jewell swapped turnouts for a cape to become Supergirl. She's part of Fairfax County Fire and Rescue, bringing some super support to the youngest patients at Inova Children's Hospital, along with Battalion Chief Matt Burns.
Captain America by night, my alter ego.
With rappel rope anchored to the roof, the heroes dropped in.
The kids were thrilled when they got to look out their windows and see superheroes coming to say hi. During COVID, they haven't gotten any special visitors inside.
Firefighter Jewell knows visits like this mean a lot.
When I was 14 years old, I had bone cancer, childhood cancer, and I treated for my cancer here in this hospital. You know, I've been on the other side of the glass, so to be on this side of the glass today and be able to connect with them and just show them that they're not alone and we're here and we're rooting for them and to support them, it means a lot.
The whole reason firefighters become firefighters is to do something for their community. And the kids are always the ones that are closest to our heart. And that's what this is best about.
A Missouri woman has met her father for the first time at the age of 35. Gabriella Pagan was there for the emotional meeting.
At 35, Megan McGuire is waiting anxiously for a moment most daughters are too young to remember.
I've been wanting to find him for a long time.
How you feeling?
Very nervous.
Nervous but ready to meet her dad for the first time in her life after finding and contacting him through Ancestry DNA just last month.
There's so many people. My heart is racing.
After 35 years and practically everyone else on board Southwest Flight 5232, they finally locked eyes.
How you doing?
Then arms. In a moment no words can do justice.
Hi, Dad.
How you doing?
It was as if time had frozen and they were the only two people in the airport living out this moment she never gave up on looking for. Unable to let go, she walked arm in arm with her dad to begin catching up on the last 35 years.
So happy.
I have 35 years I got to make up.
It's crazy. Can't even explain it.
I mean, it's unbelievable feeling that one day you got 2 children, next day you got 3 children, and you got 3 more grandchildren.
At KCI.
35 years.
Amazing.
With Halloween just about a month away, it looks like more parents are open to trick-or-treating this year. A new survey found parents see less risk in having their children hit the neighborhood for treats this time around. 68% of those surveyed said they see little to no risk in trick-or-treating. That is up 17% from last year. 2020, of course, saw communities across the country cancel trick-or-treating due to the pandemic. The director of the CDC said children should be able to safely trick-or-treat this year in small groups. A 3-time Olympian made a historic swim off of the coast of Rhode Island. Elizabeth Beisel successfully swam nearly 10.5 miles from Matanock Beach to Block Island. She is the first woman to ever complete that swim. She did it to honor her father, who died from stage 4 pancreatic cancer in July. The event raised money for Swim Across America, which helps to fund cancer research. It's time for bears to start layering up for hibernation. And that, of course, means it's also time for everyone's favorite annual animal contest. That's right, Fat Bear Week is back. Jeremy Roth has today's Take a Look at This.
It's that time of the year again. Fat Bear Week at Alaska's Katmai National Park is here, and only the fattest bears need apply. Hey, really? Is this the fattest bear shot we could get? I mean, I'm talking about fat bears. Whoa, now that's what I'm talking about. Yowza. Hey, listen, there's no fat shaming going on here. Experts say for bears, fat equals survival. The bears at Katmai are packing on the pounds to prepare for hibernation, and once again, the park has turned it into a March Madness-style contest, pitting the bulky bears head-to-head, and anyone can vote for their favorite husky competitor. Like Bear 151, who made this stunning transformation in a matter of months, or the 1,400-pound Bear 747, last year's monstrously chunky champion. Voting is open now and concludes on Fat Bear Tuesday, October 5th. It's not fat, but this unique orange lobster's color is very rare, so much so that it was saved by the dinner bell at an Arizona seafood restaurant. Nobu chef Carl Murray sees about 100 lobsters a week, but one caught his eye before reaching the chopping block.
It was a bright orange, so we were like, okay, let's maybe take this one and put it aside.
A call to Scottsdale's Odyssey Aquarium revealed just how rare the color was.
1 in 30 million. It's strange to say the least.
The lobster was officially pardoned from its culinary fate and has since been donated to the aquarium, where its pumpkin-colored good looks could go on display just in time for fall. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
We want to leave you with a smile tonight. This is one way to win a marathon. Follow the correct route. Yeah, that's how 28-year-old Tyler Pence won the Quad Cities Marathon in Moline, Illinois. The Quad City Times says Pence placed in first place after a race volunteer bicyclist diverted the 2 leaders of the race off of the course. The 2 runners had a little more than halfway to go to make it to the finish line. They were disqualified, though, leading to Pence's win. He's actually the first American runner to win the race since 2001. Pence is the head track coach and cross-country coach at the University of Illinois Springfield. Thanks for joining us tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.